Hi writers, it's Mrs. B and I'm here with another writing mini lesson. The last time we were together, we talked about how we could help future historians really understand what it was like to be a kid at this moment in time during school shutdowns by recording not only the moment that we're living in, this present time when we are at home, but by also recording the information about what it was like before the shutdown so that they could truly understand how learning at home was different. Well, this got me thinking. I think you've probably figured out right by now that I am always doing a lot of thinking. But this got me thinking that another way that we could really help future historians know what it was like to live during this unique moment in time is that we could interview other people. We could ask them questions about what it was like to live at this moment in time, and we could record these in our journals. That way, our journals or our source documents would become even richer resources for future historians. I'm kind of excited about this. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the steps of what you would need to do if you were going to interview someone. So the first step is you need to choose a person, okay? You can choose one person, you can choose more than one person. That choice is up to you. If your teacher is asking you to do this, they might have opinions about how many people they actually want you to choose. Lots and lots of choices to make. You could choose a neighbor. You could choose a family member. There are a number of people that you can choose. You might be able to ask these questions in person if it's someone that lives in your house, or you might need to use the telephone or Skype or Hangout or Zoom or whatever platform you're using. So you just choose a person, okay? Then you need to think of questions, right? And I have thought of some questions. Surprise! I've thought of some questions, but these are not the only questions that you could ask. These are just some options, some choices that you could use if you chose to interview someone. So the first type of question I thought, the first question I thought you could ask is you might want to say, what do you do? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Even if you know what the person already does or the answers to these questions, you ask anyway so that your interview is really thorough and complete. It's almost like you pretend you don't know, okay? All right. What do you do? And then you would want to make sure that you are asking them, what do you do now? And just like we were recording what we did before, you would also want to ask, how was this different before? Okay. You might ask them about what their typical day looks like. So a typical day now, and also then how was that typical day? What was it like before? Okay. You might ask them what are some of the things that they miss during this shutdown. Okay. You might ask them if there have been any happy surprises during this shutdown time. And what I mean by that is sometimes people are learning things about themselves that they really didn't know because they have more time to be at home and they're not running around and being so very busy all of the time. So sometimes there have been some happy surprises. And again, we would want to know this question right here, does that really fit with now and before? Probably not. So you have to think about that as well. Some of these questions fit with now and before, and some might be just straight answers, okay? So for this now and before, though, you're always thinking about how any of these things, these questions, they might have changed, okay? Now, another important thing is that when you are conducting an interview, you have to find a place, a way to remember it. And one thing you can do is you could record it. You could record it with an app on your phone, something like that. It's super duper important, though, that if you're recording something, you have to ask permission. And you can just say, like, may I record this conversation? If someone says no, then you can't do that. You just always have to ask. Another thing you could do is you could just take notes. And you could take notes with a pencil. You could take notes if you're a quick typist. That's entirely up to you. That's a choice that you make as a writer. It's a choice you make as an interviewer. You could also make a chart. You could list out your questions and you could fill things in. There's lots and lots of different ways to record information for an interview. And the final thing, you totally know this, but just in case it's been a long day and you need a little helpful reminder, at the end you make sure that you say thank you. Okay? So I hope that you like this idea of interviewing someone. It might not be something that you do today. It might be something that you want to think about your questions. Maybe you want to talk to someone in your family and see if they have any ideas about who might be someone that is interesting to interview. Those choices are up to you. But I do hope that at some point you will give it a try. So that's it for this time, writers. Find those journals. Find a cozy spot, and off you go to do some great writing. See you soon. Off you go.